Oh my god, hello. This is StarHoes, an astrology podcast where we talk about the hell of living through another apocalypse and the transits coming next week that we are horny for. I am a host, Lana McKenna. I have a Gem Sun, Pisces Moon, and Capricorn Rising.
I'm Matt Dragonstone. I'm another host. I have a Taurus Sun, Sagittarius Moon, and Taurus Rising.
And I'm Larissa Kesby. I'm your final host. I have a Pisces Sun, Leo Moon, and a Libra Rising, and we are so excited, so let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Oh my god. Welcome everybody. We have a really cool episode coming up this week. We've got a square that looks like the end of the world, but it won't be. We will live through it. We also have some really cool messages via the universe again. We also have a press conference to get through. It's Sunday. We've all just listened to Dan Andrews' press conference, so we're going to get into that. But before we do, we have a giveaway that's happening this week to celebrate getting on Apple Podcasts, which is really exciting. And you can win heaps of really cool prizes. But you do need to give us a rate, review, or subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts because we really want to, get on you and noteworthy, get some new listeners, break into the mainstream.
We want to get our stuff out there.
Yeah, exactly. So what is up for grabs? Let me tell you. You can get 1 hour reading with a real life wizard. That is Matt Dragonstone.
Hello.
You can also get a deck of Dragon Oracle cards by Diana Cooper. And there's also a wild crystal chosen for you by Larissa. And she's very good at choosing crystals, aren't you, Larissa?
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's true. So to win these fabulous prizes, all you need to do is follow us on Instagram. So that's at Hello StarHoes. You need to tag 3 friends in our giveaway post today, when this episode comes out. And then either rate, review, or subscribe, hopefully all 3, to StarHoes on Apple Podcasts. And this will run until the end of the week, so until Friday. And basically what we're going to do is we'll just randomly draw a winner out, and then you will win all of those prizes. But we also might read out some reviews on next week's episode.
Yeah, lols.
Yeah, it'd be so much fun. Yeah. So, give us a review. You might end up on the podcast.
Yeah, we might call you live.
Yeah. Oh my God, we should do that.
Hello caller.
Okay. We should definitely work out logistically how to do that. It'd be so much fun.
That would be awesome.
So let's get into Lockdown Lowdown. So I have a question for all of us to talk about, but I also have obviously a bigger discussion, Ari, the conference. So let's start with the press conference. What did we think? So I think we were all kind of anticipating more changes.
I was.
I'll take it. Yeah,
Sorry?
I'll take whatever Dan gives me, man.
Yeah, that's true. So I think the 2 biggest ones was that the curfew's ending tonight. Very, very exciting. Can't wait. But also that the next round of eased restrictions are going to let up a week earlier.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I was most excited about. What about you guys?
I think he said, and he also made it really clear that it's no longer going to be about dates dictating this. It's going to be about case numbers. So, if we can get it under control quicker, then we'll be out of this before the 19th of October. Yeah. And that's kind of the tentative date that he's given, which is, totally a week earlier. And the one we're all really fucking hanging out for.
Mm. Yep. Yeah, it makes no difference to me because I'm at least 5 kilometers from fucking anything.
That's completely true.
I can walk to the end of my street at 9 o'clock at night, so that's all right, I suppose. 10 o'clock.
You can just go scream into the abyss, Matt. That's nice.
You should just do that every day anyway.
I do it inside my head, but maybe it would be good to do it outside my head for once.
You should absolutely do it because you know what? If I lived in the country, that's what I would do. I would try and scare the fuck out of my neighbours.
I would scream into the abyss all the time. I would loud cry into the abyss as well.
Pisces. God, that's so funny. Okay, so apart from those things though, are we stoked? I was really having my fingers crossed for retail opening up sooner, but obviously that's not fucking happening.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to put my treat myself day off, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's no good.
I think it's good that a lot of industry is like going back to work. Hopefully the economy will start up. We can start getting some money like rolling through hands, which is really good because there are a lot of people that haven't been at work for 8 weeks. So to have like childcare workers go back to work and, a lot of the meat works and those big and construction, they're like the lifeblood of Victoria. So it's really good that they're going back to work, and I'm sure they'll all be really excited about that as well.
Also, another thing that happened this weekend, which is freaking wild, is the health minister resigned. So Victorian health minister, what is her name?
I don't know.
Jenny?
Jenny.
It's Jenny McCarcos. You need to do research on this before we record. Jenny McCarcos.
How dare you? I have researched this. I've noted my opinion down on my notes. That is research.
It might help if you knew the name of the minister you're referring to.
It's Jenny.
We're actually on a first name basis. How dare you? Anyway. So she's resigned. She posted her resignation letter on Twitter. I was there when it happened.
I was waiting.
You're in the fucking room.
Tapped into the matrix.
Basically, this was in response to what Dan Andrews said in his inquiry. So the hotel quarantine inquiry has been happening. And then on Friday, I think was the day that... Was it Friday?
It was Friday.
Friday was the day that he went up. He was basically like, no idea who kind of made this decision to use security guards over the ADF. And, he should know. He's the premier. But he also said at the end of the day, it does come in under, like, Jenny's remit as far as I'm concerned, which basically Jenny was like, well, I'm fucking out of here. Peace out, dogs. And then resigned. So what do you guys think about this?
Well, I guess if the buck's got to stop somewhere, it's got to stop somewhere, right? And I think that if Dan said that, it's ultimately the remit is Jenny McCarcos's, then, that's just it. It's just the way it goes. I don't know. Is there political power moves being made? Yeah, almost certainly. But I don't really give a shit. I just want Hungry Jacks.
Yeah. Definitely agree with you. I will say, though, Mercury is in Scorpio. I'm putting on my Kris Jenner hat.
Yeah.
And I really had to think about it. And I do feel her, resignation letter was from day one, I have acted with integrity and I have just tried to protect Victorians the whole way through. I can't believe that would even be questioned by Dan Andrews, so now I'm out of here. Which seems like a wild overreaction to him basically just saying, look, I just think it is in her remit.
Yeah.
Right? So for her to be like, oh, I'm, somebody that's really well-intentioned. I have only looked out for the safety and well-being of Victorians, but then to leave in the middle of a pandemic kind of just feels a bit chaotic and not really in line with the person she's described in her resignation letter, in my opinion.
I think she was forced out the door and the resignation letter is a swipe at Dan.
No way. That makes sense too.
Yeah. Which is what I would do. I'm a petty bitch.
I think that in terms of, deep analysis, I think she just had enough. It's a fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
It's a pandemic. You know what I mean?
It's been going on all year.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pressure's got to, sort of start giving at some point. And what better time to do it than now? I mean, the skies are kind of giving us that signal anyway that we're about to boil over.
Yeah. I guess that is true. I don't know. I just feel like it's just a wild thing to do in the middle of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like the right time to leave. But I do also understand that somebody's head's got to roll.
Someone's head has to roll. This was a fuck up.
Yeah.
We've spent 8 weeks in lockdown because of this decision.
Yeah.
Someone had to go. It was her or Dan.
That's true.
In my opinion, someone had to fucking go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think Dan will go next anyway. So
it is wild. It's wild that no one knows who made the decision, even though I personally couldn't give a fuck who made the decision or whatever.
But that's the reason we're here. We should know. Show us the fucking receipts.
Yeah. Where are the receipts? Man, we are really channeling Mercury and Scorpio.
Yeah, we are. It's crazy.
I love it. But also, this is what happens when you're in lockdown for most of the year.
Yeah, we've lost our fucking minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I think that's fair. And I will also want to talk about today, just today we saw that they're talking about a fucking travel bubble between here and New Zealand by the end of the year, which is so exciting.
What do you mean here?
Here in Australia.
I thought it was just Tasmania.
No, a travel bubble between here,
Australia,
and New Zealand, the country, by Christmas.
That's
Well,
incredible.
that's nice.
Isn't that so good?
I can go to Christchurch.
We were like
That's nice.
stressed
Nice
about being
place.
able to go to Queensland, and now they're saying you can go to Queenstown.
Yeah,
Fuck.
incredible. Ooh.
I think I'll be going to New South Wales before anywhere, so that like my family can meet my kid. But
That's
after
fair.
that,
That's fair.
maybe Auckland.
Why
Why
not?
not?
Yeah, I'm ready to go overseas and spend some money, honey.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, me too.
So
Me
bad.
too.
But yeah, we're getting there. It's
Very
happening. Things are moving. At
Yeah.
least, today could have been a lot worse. I think today, it's been under
agreed.
control, so it's
Yeah.
good.
I totally agree. Okay,
Yeah.
so I have a question for you guys. So what has helped you the most kind of during this second, harder, heavier lockdown? Your sun, moon, or rising, and why?
Fuck me.
While you guys think about it, I'll tell you my answer. So I think all three. So I do think that I was definitely channeling my my cap rising because like this all kind of coincided with me like literally waking up out of brain surgery. Like I woke up and they were like, "Oh, Melbourne's locked down,"
Yeah.
and that was the first thing I heard, and I was like, "Holy shit, what?" And then I like blew kisses to the nurse because I was just like so high. But yeah, so I was definitely channeling cap rising like for a little while just to kind of like get through a really emotional time. I didn't really let myself kind of feel anything because I was a bit too scared, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But like since then, since I've kind of like, I don't know, I guess things have like picked up. I'm like recovering really well. Things are doing great. It also kind of coincided with the podcast starting with you guys. So now I feel like I'm definitely, channeling my gem sun, but also cap rising because of all the like behind the scenes stuff.
Organization.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's been really, really nice. But I do think once we're kind of like into a COVID normal, I'll just be doing something really normal one day, like going to gym, or maybe I'll be coming back from a Westfield and I'll just start crying. And it'll be because I'm like, because everything's hitting me.
Repressed.
Yeah, my little fish moon will be like, cry! Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's generally like my pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Look, it's Libra season. I have a Libra rising, so that feels nice. I have a Leo moon, so that's made the lockdown hard. So I think I've definitely tapped into my Pisces sun during lockdown, and just being okay with being inside, being alone, and just letting myself feel everything and crying a lot and just trying to keep in contact with my family as much as I can. And I think and I've also just like tried to like lose myself in stuff, whether it be the podcast, whether it be work, whether it be a good fucking TV show. There's no judgment in lockdown. So I think I've really just tapped into my Pisces in order to stay sane during this time, because if I just relied solely on my moon and rising, we would have been in real fucking trouble, because I'm a performer, y'all. And I've had no one to perform to except you guys and my poor boyfriend. And yeah, I put on, Spice Girl style performances in the kitchen randomly all the time. And that's also helped.
Oh my God, that sounds so nice. I was listening to Spice Girls the other day.
I just love breaking out into song. I make up songs all the time.
Yes.
Like just as I'm singing them, just make them up about stuff that's happening. I feel like that's normal. Everyone does that.
I do it when I'm scared. When I'm drunk. I'll be like, everything is fine. Oh, I hate it so much.
Yeah. So I think, being a Pisces is good because, Pisces are cool with just being inside.
I also feel like getting lost. That's
Getting lost
very,
in stuff, yeah.
Very Piscean as well.
Yeah, just like whether it's like, I've watched so much 90 Day Fiancé and fucking judge away, I don't care. But it's also just made me realize that my life isn't that bad.
Yeah, girl.
These people I'm doing okay.
Yeah, fully.
So yeah, that's me.
I love that.
It's all three for me. So when this all went down, my Sagittarius moon kicked in and said, get the fuck out. And then my Taurus sun and ascendant kicked in and said, get to the country. So I fucked off to the country, right? And, the way I've been dealing with it ever since I've been here is just to keep plodding along, right? And to keep plodding through and pushing and pushing and plod and plod and push. And, it's been really good to kind of take it a bit slower than what I usually take it and to focus on that kind of Taurian tactile, get in touch with nature as the great reliever. My sun's in Taurus, but it's in the 12th house. So I too like to lose myself in a little bit of a Piscean way, but it's through just, going into nature basically and just, identifying with the mountains and the trees and the rivers and feeling the solidity and permanence of that through the channel of my sun in Taurus, which allows me to muse on it through my moon in Sagittarius. And that's how I've kind of handled it with those three, but all three of them are equally important.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. That's very cool, Matt. I like that.
It's nice that you went back to nature because it's just it's the only way to ground yourself, really.
I do feel very grounded in every sense of that word at the moment. But, who knows? Maybe it's time to fuck off again soon. So that Sagittarius moon's getting itchy feet.
Yeah.
And with the restrictions lifting, it's time to engage all three in my chart and head out back to civilization maybe.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
The comfortable burbs.
Oh my gosh. All right, cool. Love that, guys. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks for asking. It was a good question.
Yeah, man, really good question.
Loved it.
I'll think of another good one for next week, but let's take a quick break for now and get into Astrology.
Welcome to Astrology. I'm Matt Dragonstone, and this week is fucking packed. We've got 3 things to talk about this week, but they're all really intense. So strap in and let's rock and roll.
Oh my God. That sounds like what an intro. I'm a bit scared.
It sounds like a serial killer.
Yeah, like I'm ready to kill you this week. Listen closely.
But you know what? We're recording on Sunday, and that is like Mercury is in Scorpio from today. So I think that intro really fit the vibe, Matt.
Thanks. I had fun recording it. So there are 3 things that are happening this week, right? And here they are. Saturn and Pluto, who have both been retrograde forever, are going direct, both of them on the same week. So this week's going to be huge, right? And if that wasn't enough, Venus in Leo is forming a trine to Mars in Aries on Tuesday. And then Mars in Aries is forming a square to Saturn in Capricorn on Wednesday. So this is huge, big serial killer vibe energy. That's what I'm naming this week.
Fuck.
Yeah, fully. When will the chaos end?
Never. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no. I think, serial killer was probably a little bit too much. But, there's like heavy...
I don't think so.
big wheels shifting. Big wheels shifting.
Yeah, that's good. I think shifting is good. So let's... Can you just talk to us a little bit about Saturn and Pluto and like what stationing direct means?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so like when a planet goes retrograde, it looks like it's moving backwards in the sky. And when a planet's moving direct, it looks like it's going forwards, right? So it's not actually happening in real life. It's just how it looks to us on Earth, basically. And so Saturn and Pluto have been moving backwards for fucking ages, right? Saturn's been retro since the 11th of May and Pluto's been retro since the 26th of April.
That's a long time.
It's a long fucking time, right? But before they move forwards or move backwards, they always look like they're standing still for just a little while. And it's usually a big event in that cycle of moving forwards and backwards, because when a planet's standing still, it's like their power intensifies.
Wow.
Yeah. So stationing direct, stationing retrograde just means that point where they're standing still and they're about to go forwards or backwards. Okay. So in Saturn and Pluto's case, it's forwards.
So do you think that all of these 2 retros specifically with Saturn and Pluto, do you think that had anything to do with like all of the lockdowns and all of the government stuff that we've been seeing in the last 6 months?
Yeah, I reckon the dates look pretty well aligned. I mean, we can't be 100% exact with astrology like all the time, right? But I think the dates are pretty fucking indicative. So Saturn went retro in May and, Pluto was retro in April and everything kind of stopped, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
All inside our homes and whatnot, just forced to wait it out. And now, this week it's starting to push ahead, and we've already seen that there are restrictions that are easing, and there's like a new kind of normal that's dawning just outside our front doors, which we'll be able to see thanks to Dan Andrews.
Yeah, it has definitely felt like the year of like false starts. It feels like, and it's not just Melbourne. This is kind of like like we're seeing this everywhere. Yeah. We'll take one step forward, then the cases will go up and we'll take 15 steps back again. So that definitely feels kind of aligned to like Pluto and Saturn. Matt, can you explain what the difference between those two energies are?
Pluto and Saturn? Yeah, sure. So like Saturn's all about restrictions and it's about discipline and it's about authority and it's about laws and structure, okay? So like Saturn governs things like architecture, for instance. So how you build long-lasting permanent structures. Pluto, on the other hand, is about, I guess, evolution, but that's evolution that comes as a result of destroying structures and rebuilding them. So it's about birth, death, transformation is another way of thinking about it. But when we talk about...
They're both such like big, scary, intense planets.
Yeah.
They're huge, right? But this has been a big, scary, intense year.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, okay. So it makes a lot more sense to me, like when I think about what signs they're connected to. So like Saturn's connected to Capricorn and Pluto's connected to Scorpio, right?
Yeah, it's the modern ruler of Scorpio.
Makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
Scorpios continue to be fucked.
Unless you're mad. Unless you're mad.
Look, I think, we've seen structures that have been torn down and reconfigured and destroyed and reborn.
We've also seen literal structures being pulled down in America.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like on a social level, on a literal level, because the astrology of 2020 is unnervingly literal.
Yeah.
We've seen our laws have to re-govern themselves. We've seen our societal behavioral norms and the way that we discipline ourselves and behave ourselves change. We've had an intensification of that during the retrograde. And now it looks like that's going to kind of ease a little bit as Saturn, heads towards Aquarius. It's going to be in Aquarius by the end of the year. And Pluto continues alone through Capricorn.
I don't like the sound of Sun in Aquarius. We'll park that for later. I don't know why.
Feels
that just made me literally recoil.
Yeah.
Really?
It feels very cold.
It's one of its joys. Saturn has its joy in Aquarius.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's a good time. Don't worry.
I was like, oh, God. So this week, everything big, intense energy, things are going to start moving forward. So what is this week good for with these two planets stationing direct?
Yeah.
Well, I probably wouldn't plan anything this week, like as in don't avoid doing stuff, but don't plan stuff just because it's starting to go direct. Just chill this week is the big thing and keep an eye out for how stuff is subtly moving. And then in the next couple of weeks, once they're both sort of well into their direct motion period, that's when you should look to, redress power imbalances, to restructure your life, so move ahead with restructuring your life to accommodate the new landscape, which is now a COVID normal landscape. And, if you're a tenant stuck inside with like a landlord that's like, I'm going to evict you, the moment I'm able, or if you're wondering how long Senna is going to last, that's a power imbalance.
Yeah.
So Pluto direct is all about addressing that, changing if you have to, and fucking fighting if you have to too, bros.
Wow.
Yeah,
man.
So we can start like moving on with things.
Yeah, you can start just moving on with things. It's good news. It's good news, man.
That is
for
good
sure.
news. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Love that. So let's talk about Venus in Leo trines Mars in Aries. Because this is a good one, right? I don't know.
Is.
Is it?
It is, man. Yeah, nothing occurs in a vacuum. So there's always heaps of transits happening all the time. So we pick 3 for the show because it's just easier to talk about 3.
Yeah.
Touche.
And I wanted to get one that's like good news on a Tuesday, particularly considering what's happening on Wednesday, but we'll get to that in a tick. But Venus in Leo is going to form a trine with Mars and Aries on Tuesday, okay? And Venus, the love goddess, the pleasure seeker, the lady of the skies, is in Leo, so it's just self-care and luxury. And it's going to get along really fucking well with Mars in Aries. So ordinarily, Mars and Aries is like the take no prisoners, macho man planet. But these two are forming a trine. So unlike squares, which are drab, trines are fab. Good fucking
that.
news.
We should put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So basically this just means like everyone's going to be like DTF, right?
Yeah.
Is that what I'm picking up from this transit?
I think that's exactly the way the transit's going to present itself. Like, these are fire signs, Leo and Aries. They're pretty blunt. They get straight to the point. And yeah, man, Venus and Mars are going to be getting along in the skies, just having a great old time. And here on Earth, relationships are going to benefit.
So you'll be able to like see eye to eye on things and agree on things. And does this like relate just to maybe your partner or other relationships in your life as well?
It's all relationships. We're talking about how people get along with people. And while it's good, man. Yeah. Like, this transit favors romantic interactions and particularly like lovemaking, basically, to put it as politely as I've ever referred to fucking. But like, it's also about how to push ahead with all relationships. So if you're just not down with relationships, or if you're happy with the one that you've got, or if you're just, not on the hunt, then getting along with coworkers, getting along with family and friends, getting along with the guy down the shops, it's all going to get easier.
That's good.
Oh, that's really nice.
And for those who are single, they might like feel like they're ready to meet someone on this day.
Yeah, man, as much as that's possible, depending on where you live.
Everyone except for Victorians can date.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, it really favors that. If you want to get out on the hunt, man, go for it. Tuesday's a great day for it.
Tinder Tuesday.
Oh my God, I love that.
Tuesday.
Tinder Trine Tuesday.
Tinder Trine Tuesday, yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so good.
People should mention that when they're having.
That is a hashtag.
Like, you could use that as like a pickup line.
Yeah.
Like, if some guy was like, "Oh, hey, like, did you know that
it's Tinder Trine Tuesday?"
I'll be like, "Holy shit!"
You'd be like, "Let's go on a date now."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this energy.
More dudes need to get into astrology. Just musing for a second. More dudes need to get into astrology.
Okay, so obviously we know most cis-het men, not including you, Matt, obviously, but most of them think astrology is a joke.
Yeah.
There are many memes about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Many good memes.
Many. Yeah.
So funny.
And they're so judgmental about it as well.
Oh, it's
like,
just
fun.
fun.
I don't care if you're a Pisces. I'm like, well, you should.
Yeah. You should.
It'd help you.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I think if more male-identifying people want to get into astrology, that's cool. But if you look at the way astrology works, it's actually the power's all with old white guys.
Yes.
Yeah, very true, very true.
I don't know, man. And like, it's probably something that I'd like to see more people of color, more gender and sexuality diverse people in astrology, because, when you look at the way things are described, like Aries, like Mars in Aries is always described as hyper masculine and macho.
Yeah.
I just did it just then.
Yeah.
My favorite analogy is Rambo, but that's fucking sexist.
It is.
It's like a sexist language that permeates astrology, and there's a lot of really good work being done now by diverse voices to take apart that and to create a new language, which is super fucking exciting.
It's so important.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Yeah. Plus, do you want like a cheesy pickup line from some dude that's read like cafe astrology and he's like, "Oh my God, you're a Gemini. Are you into threesomes?" Do you know what I mean? Like,
I love that.
I don't.
I've never done more scene.
At least he tried, At least he read cafe astrology.
Oh my God,
he tried.
Funny.
Yeah, I guess.
Like cafe astrology.
Yeah. So good.
Oh, so funny.
So should we now talk about our good friend Mars? Now that we were just talking about
we've
masculinity.
been having way too much fun. Now we need to talk about something horrific.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, I guess on the topic of sexist language, like the way to describe Mars and Aries is like Rambo, and the way to describe Saturn and Capricorn is like Voldemort.
I don't want this day.
I know, I'm sorry, but we have to have a difficult conversation, which is kind of what Wednesday is going to be about, right? So Mars, the Rambo of the zodiac, is retrograde in Aries. So he's not having the best time, but he's feeling his oats in his home sign. And, Saturn, the taskmaster, is now direct on Wednesday in Capricorn. And, the two planets are really powerful for being in their home signs, but they're at 90-degree angles to one another. It's square. It's drab. It's drab.
It's drab. It ain't fab.
It ain't fab. It's like when I was talking a couple of episodes ago about squares being like telemarketers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You never know how it's really going to happen, when it's going to happen. You can't understand what they want because it's just this out of the blue event that happens in your life. And depending on the planets involved, it can be like more stressful than usual. And it's pretty stressful with these two. It's about as stressful as you can get.
Wait, so I need to just ask something. This transit happened on the 29th of August?
Yeah, it happened on the 29th of August.
Wait,
yeah,
is that the day that we released this fucking podcast?
Oh my God, it is. Oh my God.
It is. And therein lies the good news in this, okay?
So you can still get stuff done on this day. That's literally the
about
day we
the
launched
podcast.
StarHoes.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Dude, think about like the amount of work that we put into this and how we just power through and we just chew up the rusty nails.
Yeah, there was a lot of adversity leading up to us launching this.
There was so much.
Yeah. I think we all had mental breakdowns.
Yeah.
Frustration and adversity, right? And that's kind of how we're feeling right now. Like as of today, just before this transit goes ahead, we're all feeling frustrated because we just want Daddy Dan to give us our freedom back.
Very true.
I will say, like, talking about frustrations, yesterday I literally had what I now refer to as doomed Saturday, and I don't know what the fuck was transiting around my personal chart. Everything I touched yesterday turned to shit.
Oh.
And I'm used to everything turning to gold for me and things just like falling into my lap. So when things don't go my way, I really don't handle it well. And yesterday, honestly, I can't tell you how many things went wrong. And I feel so much better today, but I'm really that's like this energy coming my way already. I'm like pre-frustrated.
It's very frustrated. Even as we're talking in the background, my in-laws have decided to just arc up a blender for no reason. Do you know what I mean? There was a fucking rooster crowing the last time we recorded. It's that kind of energy, right? Where you're just frustrated by events, but it's transitory. We've lived through it before.
Totally.
Yeah. Cool.
That's interesting because I was so worried about this transit, but the 29th of August wasn't that bad. It was okay.
It was okay, man. These are relatively slow-moving planets, and to be honest with you, Mars and Saturn have actually been in this square formation pretty much for the duration of the last month, right?
Yeah.
Mars slowed down and it stationed retrograde, so it looked like it was standing still, and then it started to move backwards, and then Saturn was just slowing down for its station this week. So these two have been squaring off all month. I don't know about you guys, but September's been pretty fucked for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely been a lot of aggression around and
Power
also
plays.
and just a real heaviness. And also I kind of feel as well people just getting real fucking jack shit of authority. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And the constricting structures, like that Saturn and Capricorn energy, we're responding to it by being Mars and Aries, which is just fight it directly,
I totally get that.
Yeah, man. But so let's look at maybe Wednesday as not so much doom and gloom, although it's going to be difficult and don't do anything. But it's the beginning of the end of this fucked up year, man. This week is actually good news, guys.
Yeah. So this is the beginning of the end of what has been really tumultuous astrologically.
Exactly.
2020.
Yep. It's not like an immediate, it's not like an immediate sort of the door's going to swing open and we'll ride off into the sunset. It's going to take a while to get back to, normal. And I reckon it'll be February next year before we fully realize that it's over.
Yeah.
But this is still the lowest ebb. We're done after this week, guys.
Yeah.
We can kind of start to have hope, which is great.
We've still got to get through that pesky Mercury retro.
Oh,
We do.
yes.
In
But I do feel like after everything we've kind of gone through, though, I feel like no one is going to be like, "Oh, guys, Mercury's gone retrograde again." How will we ever survive?
Yeah, socials won't kick off over it.
No one gives a fuck anymore.
Yeah. It was so
It's going to be an interesting one, I reckon. Yeah.
Word.
fun.
Yeah,
Sounds like
man.
it's going to be a weird, big week.
It's going to be big energy. It's going to be a mini 2020 in some respects, but it'll be the kind that you're like, okay, this is like the final. It's like getting like a really painful massage, I suppose.
My God. So like remedial massage.
Yeah, kind of, eh? Like when you're in pain and you're on the table and like you've got some dude or some chick just like absolutely nailing your back with like, red hot irons, it feels like. And you know that it's almost over. You're like, okay, I can take this. And then you walk out of that place feeling lighter and better. That's how we're going to walk out of this week.
I wouldn't know, Matt. It has been almost a year since I've had a remedial massage. I couldn't.
No one's touched me in a year.
Look, it's been about half a decade for me because I hate the thought of a stranger touching my body. But that's the analogy. The last time I had one, it was intense pain and discomfort, but I walked out feeling better. And I think that's kind of what this week's going to be like.
Completely agree.
Can I say something? I don't know if this is controversial or not, but I hate remedial massages.
It's not controversial. Most people hate them.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most people are like, fuck that.
I
But it's like
hate them.
covered under your exorbitantly priced health insurance. So you do it because you know it's going to be good for you in the end. But yeah, no one like enjoys that shit.
I'm not into it.
If they do, they're not in the
I'll
right
go in
space.
there and I'll be like, look, just back tickles, please.
don't barely touch me.
Yeah.
Just barely touch me.
Yeah, just look at me from across the room. That's it. Your eyes will do the work.
Even that's too much. Don't fucking look at me.
Yeah, turn around, face the corner, and I'll walk out in 60 minutes.
Are we going to Blair Witch this? Fuck Blair Witch. Oh.
So let's wrap it up with the three things that people need to know. So like Saturn and Pluto station direct, what do they need to know for those days and what do they need to do?
Okay, so Saturn and Pluto station direct. Okay, Saturn is stationing direct on Tuesday, the 29th of September.
Yeah.
And Pluto's stationing direct at the end of the week on Sunday, the 4th of October. You don't really have to do anything with this. You don't really have to like worry too much about it. Just keep an eye on stuff. And it's good news, and I'm mentioning it because it's a marker for the beginning of the end. Great.
And then Venus in Leo trining Mars in Aries on Tuesday the 29th. That's the day to fuck.
That's the day to fuck.
And try and maybe ask your boss for a pay rise.
Oh, my God, great idea.
Maybe ask your boss to fuck. I mean, you never know.
Yes. And then our last baby is Mars in Aries squaring Saturn in Capricorn. I think the only thing I always think about Alison's advice from last week now, which is like, just breathe.
Oh, just keep breathing. Yeah.
Yeah. Just breathe. Just breathe through it. Breathe through the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Don't try and do anything on that day. And, I mean, if you can't avoid shit, then you can't avoid shit. It's part of your karma. But if you can, then maybe just stay in bed.
I'll work from bed. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, even though that sounds dark, this is actually a good week. And I think we'll look back at it as like the marker when shit starts to get better.
Love that.
Excellent. Cannot wait.
Cool.
Thanks, Matt.
No worries. That's the tea. I'm Dr. Matt Dragonstone. And good day to you all.
Good day.
Hi everyone, my name is Larissa and this is These Unprecedented Times. As you guys will know, in this segment, we each pull a card and have a chat about some of the energy that might be around over the next week or so. It is a beautiful day here and we are feeling the love and we're really excited to pull some cards. So let's get right into it. As always, I'm going to hand directly over to Matt and he's going to tell us what card he has pulled.
Well, you wouldn't fucking believe this, but I've pulled the King of Swords.
Shut up!
No shit, man. Seriously, it was the first fucking thing that came off the top of the deck. It was the King of Swords.
That's so weird. I pulled the same card.
When I heard you say it, I thought immediately of our friend Dang Andrews, and that's kind of where I'm going with the vibe on this one, man. It's really weird. I don't know what to make of it. So what does it mean to you, Larissa? Because we pulled the same fucking card. We might as well go tandem on this.
Just really quickly, for people that don't know what King of Swords is, i.e. me.
Yeah.
What is it like? What does it generally mean?
Yeah. You go, Matt.
Okay. Well, the King of Swords it's a court card in the minor arcana. It usually relates to a person. So kings, queens, pages, and knights tend to relate to actual people. And, the king is the king, right? It's the man who's sitting over and above
He's an
that particular
authority
element.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And swords are all about sort of air. They're an air element as a suit. And, they relate to laws, legislations, the intellect, the mind, communication, stuff that isn't necessarily like nitty gritty, but still stuff that kind of influences how we think and therefore how we behave.
Indeed.
Whoa. I thought that as well. I thought that as well. I think that it's interesting that as we know, what these kinds of cards represent a person, and we literally we're recording on Sunday this week because we just watched the press conference. And, obviously we've already talked about that, but it's just so interesting that this card fell out for both of us because we were having a conversation offline 5 minutes ago about what moving forward means for us and what these restrictions being lifted means for us and what this means for our lives and how we can start to feel lighter and move forward. So I feel like there's still I don't want to say dictatorial, but it kind of feels like that sometimes. There's definitely an element of that there. He's still very much I am in control here and I will continue to control this situation.
Yeah.
But there's also, I feel that air quality coming through where I think that hopefully we can start to feel like we've been through the hard times and it's a little bit lighter now.
Well, yeah, it's kind of there's a correlate, I think, between the King of Swords and the Justice card because the sword is sort of alongside the scales. And I think that Dan's kind of showing a little bit of an even keel and is being a bit fairer by going, you've done really well, so restrictions off for the most part. Yeah.
And I pulled the Justice card last week during this session, so really interesting that we're now starting to tell a story with these readings as the weeks go on.
We're tuned into a narrative, I think.
Yeah.
The cosmic energy narrative of Melbourne.
Yeah, crazy. So what did you pull, Lana?
I pulled the 10 of coins.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, so I'm using Larissa's Game of Thrones deck. Yeah. They're really cool. And so I pulled the 10 of coins. I was immediately drawn to all of the coins.
Money, things.
But there's also so there's 10 coins and then there's also a table and it's full of food and wine and it looks like a delicious feast. So the key meaning of this card is wealth, happiness, consolidation, family, and marriage.
Whoa.
Which is pretty cool. So this is the message. This joyful 10 shows consolidating wealth and sharing love. So the card's meaning includes relationship, commitment, marriage, weddings, gifts, inheritance, strong ties across the generations, and a close friendship circle. So I think this is kind of talking to kind of what we've just listened to, really, with things starting to open up again. We're all starting to, I guess, kind of see each other more. We're going to be able to be closer socially together. The economy might start up again a little bit more too.
People, there's 100,000 people going back to work in the next week. So that, money, abundance, and relationships is cool.
Yeah.
I think it talks to Libra energy as well.
Agree. Yeah, definitely. Oh, it also says here, finding your dream home.
Oh.
That's so exciting.
Well, it's spring. People love to nest in spring as well. And after winter, that's I always think that I've said this before that winter is where you recover from the first half of the year and rest, and spring is where you rebirth and start all of your new things. And obviously with Saturn and what's the other planet? Saturn and Mars? No.
Saturn and Mars, yeah.
We can start to do that kind of stuff. There's some planets stationing out of retro as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Saturn and Pluto.
Saturn and Pluto, yeah. So
totally.
I think there's lots of new beginning stuff there.
Yeah, I totally agree. To me, this card just means one thing. Shopping. I cannot wait for retail to open. Because I definitely have more than 10 coins ready to go.
Me too. Shopping is the best. That's awesome. I think that I can't believe we pulled the same card, Matt. I can't even believe it.
There is some cosmic energy at play here, my friends.
Yeah.
We are but channels, vessels for the message to pass through us.
So I want to like finish up today by talking, like we've spoken about like Libra season and we've spoken about spring so much. And I want to like continue that conversation on. Like last week we had a chat about hope. And we've also spoken about like toxic positivity in the last and like how to deal with emotional stuff in the last couple of weeks. So now I want to talk about how we like when it's all happening and we're all like really overwhelmed, like how we manage our energy levels and how you like reserve your energy and like what are your strategies there. Because I think I like have a tendency, I have like a really polarizing black and white personality. I'm either like at 110 or I'm at fucking 0. I'm at like -10 actually. So like I would like love to get some tips on how to like find more balance in like what I'm committing to, like how I use my energy and my time, because I either overcommit or don't commit at all. I'd love to hear about that. How about you, Matt? You can kick us off.
Well, I mean, it's funny that you're asking for advice because I'd do the same thing, man. Like, I don't have any advice. I don't know how to manage my energy. I don't know how to manage my time. I don't know how to manage my commitments. And I think one of the big lessons this year for me is like paying attention to that.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same, right? Like I go from 100 to -100 to back to 0 to 1,000 to like, you know, I can't speak or move for a week because I've done too much. And then I injure myself. So no fucking idea. I'm sorry.
It's interesting. It's interesting that you say that like you swing so hard that you then injure your body, because that's your body saying slow the fuck down, bro.
Yeah, fully.
Dude, listening to my body is another one of the big fucking lessons from this year, man. Like just integrating it because I live in my head. I love to live in my head.
I remember you said like when we were like really excited about 2020 in January, I actually remember sitting on your deck and saying to you like, what are your goals? And you're like, I just want to listen to my body. Like I really want to integrate the learnings from my body this year.
Yeah, it's hard to respect. Like, I think it's hard for me personally to respect the body as a source of wisdom. But like, I've been on that journey this year, and I'm just getting sick of getting injured. I'm getting sick of like feeling disconnected. So when I get there, I'll let you know.
Like it's funny, like like a wise spiritual healer that I know has told me 1,000,000 times that like in this world of materialism and capitalism, your body is the only thing that you will ever really own.
Yeah.
That's fucking deep.
And I was like, what? I own a house. And she's like, no, you don't. And I'm like, So you have to look after it and listen to it because it's the only thing you've got.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
It is.
Yeah.
That is it. All you've got is your health.
Yeah, man.
What was I going to say? I think it's so funny that you're like, help me. Like, I don't
I'm so bad at
know how to do this and because I remember like a couple of episodes ago we were talking about what is going to like how like I remember saying something around the lines of like, oh, everyone's going to go fucking bananas when things open up again. I know I will for like a week.
Yeah.
And then I remember you saying that one of your biggest learnings through all of this was like you realize that like because you're such a social gal going through these lockdowns, you're kind of like, oh, like I can be a social gal, but I can also enjoy my own company. And I think that's such a like big, cool learning for you. I feel like this is something Alison said to me a couple of kinesi sessions ago because I was talking to her about how I was worried that I would revert back to old like people pleasing behaviors in like a new friend, like an old new friendship that was happening in my life. And she was just like, gal, you've just got to trust yourself. And I feel like that's like the advice you need right now is to like trust everything that you've learned through this lockdown and to like we're all so much more in tune now with like what we need and like listening to our bodies because we've all had so much alone time.
Yeah.
I just feel like both of you just need to like kind of like trust yourself and be like, I'm going to be okay. Like, you know, I might go a little bit over the top when things like start up again, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get so excited about it.
Gal, he fucking like I literally like when we were listening to like the Dan Andrews conference, like when he wasn't talking about like when he didn't bring up retail, I was like, well, I'm just gonna have to sleep in the car parks until they open.
I'm just worried that I'm gonna go on like a 3-day like drinking bender.
Yeah, girl. The weather's so like going to be so good by the time we get out.
Yeah.
I'm going straight to Aldi to get the new nappies that I like that I only discovered before hard lockdown, and then I'll probably get a new pair of tracky dacks from fucking Big W. That's it.
That's the simple pleasures of life, Matt.
Yeah.
Yep. Simple pleasures. That's all I'm into, man.
And I'm sure you're due for your annual Uniqlo trip soon as well.
Well, yeah, I guess if I can't get there, they've got an online store, but I don't know.
It's not the same. Not the same.
It isn't the same. But in order to get to Uniqlo, you've got to go to a fucking shopping centre. I'm not really that into it.
Oh, okay. So I also was like that pre-lockdown, but now I'm like, oh, Westfield, Chadstone.
Yeah, I just want a day, just one day.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Oh, even just driving around looking for a car park for like 45 minutes.
Oh my God, I'm excited about that.
I will get more and more excited the longer I'm like driving around. By the time I get out, I'll be like, let's fucking go.
You sound like those people who have booked flights to nowhere. Have you seen that in the news?
Oh, I love that. That is, whoever came up with that at Qantas is a genius.
I do love that idea, but I don't think I could ever commit to it.
No. But like you just fly around and see all of the like landmarks in Australia, like they take you over the Great Barrier Reef and Uluru.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oh my God, and it's only $700. Only $700.
In one of the shitty old fucking...
Yeah. You'd want it to be a new Dreamliner otherwise.
Could you imagine like paying $700
to go nowhere?
And then you literally like you walk in past like
you don't need
like,
baggage.
Yeah. But it's like a crusty old Qantas fucking plane.
That's like that usually does the Brisbane to Melbourne route.
Yeah. And there's like there's no in-flight entertainment. Like, and you're like in the middle seat. So you can't see out the window.
The B or the D.
Dude, there are airlines in South Korea and China and Singapore where you don't actually leave the tarmac. You just sit in a plane for like 3 hours and then get out.
What?
And leave. Like the people are so desperate to feel like they can move around.
It's so interesting,
that
isn't it?
Just feels like some repressed Capricorn shit.
It's weird.
Like
driving through a shopping centre car park.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, fully.
That's that glass house going over there for you.
So true. Oh, that's hilarious.
All right. Okay, well, that was a really good chat. Thank you so much, guys. I really, as I say, this session, it's becoming something I say every week, but I really, really do love it. So thank you for your insights as always. So I'm going to wrap us up now. As you guys know, it's new episodes every Monday, and you can subscribe on Spotify so you don't miss an episode. I'm really excited to announce that we are also on Apple, thanks to all of Lana's hard work. And we are so excited that we're going to be running a competition around this next week. So make sure that you follow our socials, so at Hello StarHoes on Instagram, so that you can see what that is and be a part of that as well. And obviously, if you enjoyed our podcast, we'd love for you to leave us a review too. And as always, if you'd like to know more about your personal stars and hear it directly from our real life wizard, please book in a reading with Matt at dragonstoneinsights.com. As always, we will also put everything that we've spoken about during the episode in the show notes so that you can read along with that too. So that's it for us this week. Make sure that you wear your mask, wash your hands, and continue to be kind and look after each other. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers. Ciao.